This week in Moto from around the world. Get ready, two-wheel knuckleheads, kickstarting this off. No pun intended to Ken Roxon. We have Marquez winning in
chapter written
1,043 days.
Oh, he's lost a rear. Big high side. He's all right.
You saw this. Digo, esto no es por placer.
Marquez wins back-to-back for the Repsol Honda rider.
Oh. And he got on that Ducati, and everything has changed. So he ended up winning the GP of Aragon with my boy, Jorge Martin, and then Acosta. These guys are all on Ducatis besides Acosta. He's the only guy that's on the KTM, but we know that these KTMs are going to be incredible. So I'm looking forward to potentially purchasing one in 2026 per se. So let's get into some super motocross as far as the playoffs, because they are this weekend, and we do have a glimpse of the track map. They're in North Carolina, so we don't see any big whoops, but there's definitely some rhythm sections along with some flat sections. I would like to see some berms here because, man, having flat corners are no fun to watch. Does look like there's a couple berms here, but this corner, yucky. Another split start, which is interesting. But to get back into where we're going with this is for the riders 1 through 20, don't have to qualify. They are already in, and they start off with points. So Hayden Deegan, he starts off with 25 points, and that's just how it's going to start. And I believe the last race is something like double or triple points. And so really whoever wins the last one is probably going to end up being the Super Motocross champion. But if you are outside the top 20, which many are, you have to qualify in. So you have to do a qualifying race, and you're going to have to do that throughout the entire 3 rounds. So even if you win the LCQ at round 1, you got to do it in round 2 and also round 3 just to get into the actual event. So there's a lot of good guys in here that are going to have to try to qualify, like Talon, McAdoo, Jet Reynolds, Carson Mumford, Henry Miller, Robbie Wageman. Lots of guys that are going to have to do that. On the 450 side, there is guys that are automatically qualified in as long as you win one of the races, but they are also already in the top 20. So Chase Sexton, he starts off with 25, Hunter, 22, Lawrence is in 3rd, Jet Lawrence is in 5th, and Eli Tomac is going to be in 11th, whereas Ken Roxon, he's going to be 13th with 9 points. So no matter what, Lawrence is going to have to make up at least 8 points on Chase Sexton. And as far as those riders outside, Dean Wilson will have to go to the qualifying. Same thing with Justin Hill, Derek Kelly, Cullen Park, Colt Nichols, Jerry Robin. And they are definitely going to want to continue to race those because of the high purse that they have. There's some more interesting things going on with Beta. They were giving away a bike for the MX of Nations, but also they're making a replica model. And this sucker looks jam-packed with good pieces parts on it, from the clutch cover to the full exhaust. We don't see that often. It's got nice wheels on it. I don't know if those are A60s or just if they're just the Dirt Star, but it's going to come with a TM Designs chain block and chain slider, Mica handlebars, extra front number plate signed by Benny Bloss, and it's going to be 1 of 25 numbered for $12,000. And yes, I am going to have a Triumph review that is right around the $10,000 mark for that bike, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Gypsy Tail, this was interesting to hear from Austin Faulkner here. Listen to this.
Typical 250 bonus, no matter what team you ride for, is 50 to win a race, and for 450 it's 100 to win a race.
Yeah.
And then for
sometimes
a championship
200,
bonus,
300.
it's 500 on 250, $1 million on 450. Very few guys, I would say, are getting a salary. Like I said, only probably a few guys are getting paid even in the over $1 million salary. And that's, you're winning if you're winning both championships plus the SMX race, if you're making $5 million a year, that is a lot of money in a
crazy in the sport of
pro dirt bike rider.
Wow. Interesting. Yes, we've talked about it before. We won't take a whole lot. That's why that Super Motocross is very important, because the $1 million that goes to the team that then they can decide, hey, is this going to the rider or whatnot? Lots of money to be up for grabs. Hey, you have Cooper Webb joining not only the Hunter Lawrence brothers, but they're going to be racing the AusX Open in Supercross. This isn't the World Supercross. This is just going to be the AusX. So they've got some heavy hitters heading over there for sure. And with this little leak here that Racer X did as far as the Apocalyptic silencer and system on a Honda, is this going to be for the factory edition Hondas? I don't know, because the reason why we don't see a whole lot of this stuff and a whole lot of guys out at the tracks for this is because it's expensive. A Yosh pipe is usually what we see on Hondas, and that's what we see on the factory jet bikes. So I don't know, factory Jet Lawrence, that's where I was going with that, bikes. You know, it is a jet bike. So anyway, I digress. Reason why we don't see this many of them is just because it's like an extra $600. You're talking at $2,600 for the whole deal, where you could get a FMF or a Yosh for around that $1,800 to $2,200 range. Crazy, but interesting teaser. Quick word from our sponsor. You have Coach Rob with the Complete Racing Solutions. They are setting up their selection process between the September 2nd to the 27th of this year for the 2024-2025 slots. The guys that have gone through this program are riders like Adam Cincerillo, Jeremy Martin, Styles Robertson, Jordan Bailey, and then there's been some off-road superstars with Mike Wachowski, Charles Mullins, and Ben Parsons that have participated in this. Make sure you check out the link below to be entered in to your chance to become an elite rider. You'll have benefits from Garmin, from LitPro, from their energy fuel over there, which I absolutely love. So definitely check that out. The Stark ended up 5th at the French Supercross Championship. They're at the Supercross Tour, where we ended up having Greg Aranda, I hope I said that right, ended up winning this sucker, and he's actually going to go race for Team GSM for the World Supercross along with Lucas Imbert. They are the team over there for the Yamaha, and there's also a Buds Kawasaki that was revealed as well, where Cedric Sombreas and Anthony Bourdon are going to accompany them as well, along with Colt Nichols partnering with PMG for the World Supercross with Ken Roxon with that Twisted T. Yeah, the name is confusing with the PNG Twisted T Progressive Racing Team-ish there. It's like this huge collaboration between there. In some funny news, you had Grandpa Earl come back for number 2, and this was some pretty funny epic spots that we got to see.
That guy can't ride sand for shit. Is this Jet?
And then he ends up stealing Jet's bike.
Nice, huh?
Distract these guys.
You like it?
No, this is nice. Yeah, this is nice, but I don't know.
Can you show me around in here?
Yeah. What do you want to see? It's done. Hey, it's done.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
Okay.
still a little hot, all right? Thank you. Thank you.
So make sure you check out Dito's YouTube, because this stuff is pretty funny. He always does a really good job over there with his humor. Joe Shimoda is actually going to participate in a Japanese race for the first time in 2 years for round 7 of the championship series for the 28th and 29th of September. Right after the Super Motocross Championships, he's going to head over back to Japan and race for Factory Honda over there. It'll be interesting to see how he does from there. This was interesting. KTM Motorsports Director Pitt Pierre will call for a shorter season of racing in the United States. That 31 races is too much. Just doesn't like how many races there are. And maybe is that because of the KTM stock price has been plummeting, and hence why they've been getting rid of some factory supports with Gas and the TLD team and so many other off-road teams that are associated with Gas. Yeah, because these guys pay a lot of money to participate in these series, and they have to go to all the rounds to make sure that they're in the championship hunt. So I do believe that the schedule right now, I think it's honestly 33 races, is just way too much of what they have going on. And as far as what the 7 Deuce Deuce says, it's kind of insane to expect riders to stay healthy. We haven't. You see Roxon, he's already struggling with his fatigue syndrome again. You had the heavy hitters out. Jet, Hunter with his back. Who else? Deegan has tried to, because he's crashed so many times. Eventually, he's going to get hurt. Along with Tomac and Cooper Webb, bunch of heavy hitters end up falling out. So it'd be nice to see a Super Motocross Championship that basically has maybe 5 rounds of Supercross, then 2 rounds of Motocross, then 5 rounds of Supercross for maybe like a total of 17. Give these guys a 2-week break in between a bunch of this stuff. That would be excellent to see. And there's going to be lots of racing coming up here with the Motocross of Nations. That is the 4th, 5th, and 6th of October. And pretty much we've got the majority of the lead or heavy hitters when it comes to the MX of Nations teams. France is going to be Romain Febre, Maximum Renault, and Tom Vial. That's going to be hard to beat. USA, we've got Chase Sexton, super fast dude, Aaron Plessinger. We know he's going to be the top 5-ish. That's kind of, hopefully, where we're hoping for. And Chase Hymas. Kid is fast on 2 wheels, especially what he's been doing. Australia, the Lawrence brothers, along with Kyle Webster. Netherlands, going to be hard to beat. Jeffrey Hurlings with Kaida Wolf and Calvin Veranderen, which I believe I've heard rumors that it might be Glenn Koldenoff potentially there. And then Germany has Ken Roxon and Max Nagy and Simon Langenfelder. So there's a lot of really heavy hitters that are going to race the MX of Nations. This will be a fun year to watch. And if this has been helpful at all, make sure you hit that subscribe button, notification icon, hang around for another video to play. And as always, keep it WFO. Ba-ra-da-da-da-da-da.